Hey guys, my name is Sanjay. Welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. I'm here with my good friend Clayton, who I haven't seen in forever and ever. It's been almost 9 hours,
Right.
12 hours. No, but it's
14 hours?
14. Yeah, 14 hours. Well,
Yeah.
no, because we stopped at 9, right? Or the 8?
Or 8. Yeah,
Yeah,
13 hours. Well,
13
still,
hours.
it's been too long.
Yeah, too long. We recorded a podcast, so if you guys are interested, it was a funny one. Clayton has the best ideas, so
Uh,
uh, yeah. So go
if you
check it
like
out.
Seinfeld, you might find it entertaining.
Yeah, link should be in the description. You still use that Buzzsprout thing, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay,
And then
okay,
you can in within that you can find whichever podcast app you use, whether it
yeah,
be Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever,
yeah.
and
So
it'll redirect you.
should be a good time, and hopefully we'll have a good time right now too. Um, how was your day? I know I was just asking backstage, but how was your day?
Well, the highlight was first thing waking up, talking to you, and it all went downhill from there. No, it was a pretty good day. We had a rainy day, so inside stuff,
Yeah.
one of those inside days, just laundry and figuring out our summer calendar. Nothing too exciting. I did get a watch in the mail today, though,
Oh, okay. What'd
so
you
that
get?
was
What'd you get?
exciting. I got the new G-Shock fitness watch, the
Oh,
DWH 5600. Bought it solely to compare to my Garmin for a podcast.
okay.
But it's I don't know. I still have to do a run with it. I'll do a run with it tomorrow to see exactly. But it's comfortable. If you
Yeah.
like G-Shock squares and you are thinking about a fitness watch, this is an entry level fitness watch. It's only going to be able to do a few activities: walking,
Mhm.
hiking, running. That's about it. Gym workout. With a Garmin, you can do just about anything: rowing, yoga. I mean, all kinds of things. Rock climbing, whatever you want. So it's really entry level, and it's a bit expensive for what it is, I think. But the display, the MIP display, is crystal clear. The strap super supple.
Okay.
So yeah, I think my podcast is just going to be: does G-Shock really need to venture into this category or not? So I
Right.
think because Garmin kind of owns it,
Yeah.
and Fitbit's there too, and yeah. So I'm still gathering my thoughts on that.
Okay. Oh, what's the power delivery, like solar powered or
It's solar and charged. So yeah, it's
okay.
weird to get a G-Shock with a charging cable. That's
Yeah.
also odd. And
Yeah.
it has the heart rate
Okay.
sensor, and then the
Gotcha.
charger. The charger's a weird like clip thing that actually clips in the front and then locks onto this little thing here. So
Ah,
it's
they
actually
didn't go.
polished here though. It's nice. I mean, it's really nice. It's thicker than a standard G-Shock, obviously, with the heart rate sensor, but I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's still not going to live up to Garmin, I don't think, but it's yeah, I like it. It's
Yeah.
comfortable to wear, that's for sure.
And what's the price delta between Garmin and this guy?
Well, so this one is about 300, I think, like 319 with tax. The
Okay.
Instinct 2X Solar is 450. You
Okay.
get a lot for that extra 150 bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
It even has a flashlight built into the
Okay.
case. And then just the app is, so I think G-Shock has moved all of their Bluetooth watches into one app now, Oceanus and everything. And
Okay.
I think because Oceanus had its own app that was very nice.
Hmm.
But everything's on this app now. It's okay. It's an okay app, but the for serious athletes, the Garmin Connect app really just keeps track of every metric you would want to, your training recovery, and really in-depth analysis that I haven't even scratched the surface on how to use. This
Mm,
isn't going to do that, but
okay.
I'm interested
And
to log some runs with it.
yeah. Be interested to hear your thoughts too. And that's your wrist check for tonight, or what are you
Yeah,
wearing?
that's it.
That's it?
That's all I'm wearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I had a good Saturday as well, as I was telling you. I was just got back from the mall, scored a sweet deal on a pair of Timberland boots.
Nice.
I'm pretty happy. 50% off. See, it's not just about the watch deals, it's about the every deals.
Did you trade anything in is the question.
Yeah, I traded in my used boots now. But yeah, I did that. On my wrist is the SLGH
Uh,
013.
That looks so good right
I
there.
should go full screen, right?
Yeah, do it.
So there's the frosty dialed, and then the back, which is the important part as well. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, man.
oh.
I'm
That
seeing
batter
more and more why you, traded in the 295 now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that battering on the balance bridge. It's
It
like
looks
a
a lot like the Moser rotor, actually,
Yeah,
it resembles it.
I I think of it almost like it has like a German personality, like the finishing and the movement. Like,
Mhm.
it feels like a German watch, like, from my limited understanding of it with, Geo, Nomos, and a couple of ALSs that I've seen. I feel like Grain went a little German. I don't know. I could be way off kilter.
They've done, like, skeletonized rotors, but usually different looking, right? Like, more, through the middle, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah, kinda. They've done, like, the full rotor, like the spinning disc kinda thing,
Mhm.
the tungsten rotor, so, yeah, they've done a couple of things. Their previous movements haven't been too beautiful to look at, but these ones are, right up there.
Yeah, that's
Um,
beautiful.
yeah, too bad it's running so fast.
Oh, what did you say it's doing? Like, +15, did
Plus
you say?
15, yeah, it's staying at the plus 15.
Wow.
So I haven't set it since I set it last Saturday, and I am currently 2 minutes fast.
Hmm.
Oh, well, I don't care. It's a mechanical watch, so
Right.
yeah, I know. I know a lot of people a few people have said, you're letting Grand Seiko get away with it because my White Birch was like that, my 295 was like that, and this guy's now like that too,
Hmm.
which is problematic when you think about it. It's a problematic trend, right? But, it's if it's not spring drive, if it's not 9F, then I'm okay with a
What
little
are the
inaccuracy.
listed tolerances for that?
Um, -4 plus -3 plus 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's, on wrist, I think they say on wrist, you are supposed to get under 0 to 9 seconds per day, plus 9. So, you shouldn't be getting to 15, and every other grain Seiko I've had has been, like, mechanical, high beats, or regular beats have been, +2, +3. So, I've never had one lose time, but yeah, other than these 3 watches, I've never had one gain this much time either, but
Huh.
not
Well,
yeah.
you're well within your right to do something about it if you so choose.
Yeah, I sure am.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got 5 years to think about it, so if
Or
I'll
or
like
or 5 months.
yeah, yeah, that's the other thing. If it's gonna go. I'm not saying it's going. Chaz, remember? Not saying it's going. Good to see you, Chaz. Good to see you, Kevin. I don't know. I don't think I said hi to you, Kevin. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. And Chaz as well. We're in the SPB 153, which is still so beautiful. That Willard.
Yeah.
Bill K, good to see you, sir. We got the royalty here, FP Wilson. Good to see you. Cowboy Swami, hey, good to see you live. Hope you're doing well. BJ, good to see you. Sean Hansen, hey, hello from Arizona. Good to see you. Stefan, good to see you, sir. Hope you're keeping well. Hey, Wayben. Hope you're doing well as well. We're in the SPGJ 249. Very cool. Let us know what you're wearing, guys. Um, Cowboy Swami asking about watch suit tomorrow. Are we doing watch suit?
We haven't made a call.
No, I think we're gonna skip, right? No.
Yeah, I think it's probably for the best.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're probably gonna skip watch suit. I know Mr. Legs is busy, so it was kind of on us, but we'll wait for Mr. Legs to come back.
Yeah.
It'll be a good week off for us too. Sympathy for the Bezel. Good to see you guys. Oh, you already listened to it.
Oh,
That's great.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, you're
He
so
always says the nicest things.
yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah,
you're so encouraging. We
yeah,
really appreciate you, and you're very much loved.
yeah.
Deech. I mean, everyone is very much loved. I'm sorry if I left anyone out by saying that, but Deech is wearing the Zimby one. Not sure what that one is. I'm sure it's a Seiko limited edition of some sort.
Yeah, they what were they for Thailand? I had a Zimby Samurai, for a
Yeah,
while. Yeah.
yeah. Cool, cool. Hey,
Yeah, very
Walter,
cool.
good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, our Joey is here. Good to see you. Hey, Big Wrist. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Mez9, good to see you. Anyone else? Hey, Stanley, how's it going? Pittsburgh. Very cool. Um, Old boots in the trunk. That's good. Yeah, I was actually, I took them away. I was actually just shining some old boots too. Um, I don't know why I'd want to show that to you guys. Yeah. Vintage Air Jordans. No, they were Timberland red something or other. I can't remember. I keep thinking of Red Wings. Is it Red Wings? No.
I
Anyway.
think they're 2 separate brands.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. No, but this, like the name of this boot reminded me of Red Wings. I
Mm.
can't quite
Yeah, I don't
erase my
know.
memory. Walter, the 5 years there. Oh no, power reserve indicator was misaligned. That's strange. I've never heard of
Wow.
that one before. I'm sorry to hear that, Stanley. Hope it got sorted out though.
So it read, like, the wrong amount of power?
It could have been like off, like when it was full, it was past the
Okay,
index
okay.
or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
Interesting.
yeah, that's yeah. I've not heard a lot of good things about Grand Seiko service, so I'd rather a local watchmaker. Like if I needed to regulate it, I'd rather take it to my AD and then send it to Grand Seiko because yeah, they open it up. Who knows what'll happen? um, and maybe that's unfair though.
Do
I'm
they
sure
have somewhere in, Jersey? Do they have somewhere in North America that they or did they have to go back to Japan?
I've been hearing they have places in the US, but I'm not sure
Okay.
the locations.
I wanna say New
Um,
Jersey for some reason, but maybe I'm
yeah,
wrong.
it's possible. Is that no, New York City is where they had that really flagship store, right?
Yeah.
Boutique. Navy Blue Monsters wearing the excellent King Seiko SJ083. Very nice, sir. Um, Bobby K, good to see you. What do you mean it feels like a German watch? No, not German watch. German finishing. Yeah. Oh, you mean it has no soul? It's an Austrian watch. It's a little dig at Mr. Wolfie. Hey, watching New York City, wearing the Tropic Antarctique. I forgot you had that. Very cool. Um, oh, we just had a bit of an experience with the Tropic, so
Great
yeah.
review on that, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I,
Your cooked salmon description of the dial color was right on.
yeah, yeah, I thought so because I was looking at it and I was thinking this is not salmon, like but they took the salmon analogy past the salmon's lifetime.
Mhm.
North flag on Walter's wrist, very cool. Hey Peter, good to see you. Is there something environmental like work possibly causing the issue? No, because it was running plus 15 on a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I didn't take them. I took it to work on Monday, but the other 2 days. So by the time I was taking it to work on Monday, it was like plus 25 seconds. So it was already like that at home. I mean, it could settle. Like a lot of people say it'll probably settle down a little bit, but oh hey, Wayman saying New Jersey Service Center in New
Yeah,
Jersey.
that's what
There
I
you
thought.
go. Stanley, GS can only the SBGD 202 in Japan. Oh, can only service that one? That's like a super high end watch, right? Precious metal or something. Um, two boutiques. Oh, two boutiques in New York, says Wayman. And Bobby K, Sanjay, how many Grand Seikos have you owned? How many Grand Seikos have you owned till the service being needed? Second one is 0. First one, I'm not so sure. I'd go to my spreadsheet, but that would be it would take some time. I mean, Honey Dial. Honey is a good description as well for that Chopik
Mhm.
Antarctique. Hey, Bruno is here too. Good to see you guys. And Pale Horse, I missed you. Pale Horse, good to see you. Um, Apparently, 9S85 chronographs had to go to Japan, says Weibin. And if you want Zeratsu polishing, yeah, Zeratsu, I knew about that. Okay, so today's topic, I'd love to hear what you came up with here, but um, I was thinking pettiness has been on my mind lately. My having some issues at work with a coworker and pettiness. So I was thinking about ways that I'm petty just in general to kind of bring me back a bit. And I was thinking because pettiness is on my mind and I can be pretty petty. I was wondering about things that we might do, petty or not, right? Things what we might do with a watch before we move it on, like before we sell it. Um, Things that we might want to do, not actually do, but want to do. And I have a few things, but I don't want to taint your thought process, Clayton. So I'd love to hear what you got. It was kind of semi vague, just to see
It
what
was
you.
very vague. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I wasn't exactly sure. I was actually gonna ask you to go first, but I can, now so I sold a watch on Facebook, a G-Shock, to this guy who was just giving me a hard time over price, beating me up on what I thought was already a pretty fair price. So, I I
Was
did
that the
not
sample?
clean the wrist cheese off of the band.
Okay.
I was so fed up with him, and I was just like, I'd had it. I was like, because he only had a certain amount of money in his PayPal, so he's like, "Can I just pay this? Because this is all I have in my PayPal, and I don't want to put any more in." I was like, "No, this is already like a good price." So
Yeah.
I didn't clean it. It was a Frogman. I didn't clean it. I just sent it to him as is, wrist cheese. I don't care because he got a good deal and he was being a pain. So
Right. So
that was the first petty thing I did.
you did actually end up accepting it?
He didn't even mention it. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just it was gunked up. I wore it for dog running and stuff. So
Yeah.
there you go. I didn't usually I would wash it and make sure it was in good looking, good shape and everything. And I nope, sent it to him.
And so you accepted that low ball offer.
It was fine. It was right under basically it was just like the goods and services difference. And I was just like, he was such a pain. I just said fine.
Yeah.
So he didn't wanna
Okay.
add the 3% because he didn't have that. That would have gone over what he had in his PayPal, so I was like, "Oh, whatever."
Okay. That makes sense. Um, and guys in the chat, I'd love to hear what you think too when you think about things you'd want to do to a watch before you sell it off. Not necessarily in malicious, right? But I would love to hear what you guys think. So before I kind of add my thought to it. But is that the only one that you can think of, Clayton?
Well, we can alternate. I can think of
Okay.
some other things I would do for sure.
Okay. Okay. So one really petty thing for me is I have an obsession with spring bars, right?
Yeah.
so so I whenever I give back a watch, I lament the fact that I had to give the OEM spring bars back. And the temptation is always there for me to take my Amazon spring bar set, grab two fitting spring bars, and keep the OEM spring bars with me and put like the garbage spring bars into the watch. I don't do it. And I can't I have a philosophy, I cannot lie. So you guys know that I'm not lying to you guys. I don't do it, but the temptation is every single time I take the spring bars and I stare at them for a little bit. I go, it's not right for me to keep these. I end up putting them back, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard to let those good spring bars go, like especially with like the Tudor spring bars. Those are really good. Longines has some good spring bars. Seiko has garbage spring bars sometimes. Grand Seiko's tends to have good spring bars, but yeah. So I'm happy to get back the Seiko spring bars, but Grand Seiko spring bars, I struggle a little bit as well. So yeah, that's one thing I am tempted to do before I sell a watch or trade a watch in. Keep the spring bars, you know.
I think I have done that, maybe not on purpose, but, oh, I've definitely sold watches without the original spring bars because it's mostly just disorganization. Also,
Right, right,
I'll just take them and I'll put them on my desk, and we have cleaning people and stuff, and they've now been told to stay off my desk. But we have somebody who comes in, and they always rearrange my desk, and some things just get. So I'll just find a 20 millimeter, and it may not be the original, and oh
right.
well.
That
You
makes
can
sense.
tell sometimes too because the bracelet might be a little loose or something. But
Yeah,
I know I have done that. I try not to. I try to keep it organized as much as I can, but maybe
yeah.
not malicious just because I'm not organized.
So for me, I have a bunch of baggies, and so when I take the spring bars out, I put a little note say from which watch it's out from. So this is just a link as an example. Um, I have this link in case my wrist swells up, so I can take a link out. But I'll put this back in the watch when I trade it. I mean, I'm keeping it forever.
7 long years from now.
Yes, yeah. So I have, spring bar baggies, and I labeled those baggies before so that I can give the right spring bars back. But yeah.
That's smart though. Because you are likely to move on from most watches you have.
No, 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 never. Yeah, yeah. So that's something I do. I am pretty ridiculous when it comes to those things. Like, yeah. Um,
Especially
any
well, I'm that way kind of with, like yeah, with, like, Tudor and, like, higher end watches because the spring bars are just markedly better, higher tolerances, and they're very good spring bars, so I will always tend to keep those, and those are the watches I don't tend to mess with
Yeah,
OEM bracelets and straps too much anyway, so
right.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Seiko, you sometimes feel like you're doing them a favor by putting something else on there.
Yeah,
Especially
'cause
the newer Seiko spring bars in particular. The older ones I feel like were much better.
yeah, I've noticed, recent Seikos, like, when the watch always clicks, like, you can feel the pin, like, pop out of the hole,
Yeah.
and when you, like, scrunch the watch, it'll click, click,
The
and
pins are different, I feel like, on the Seiko spring bars, on the newer ones.
yeah?
Yeah, it seems like harder to get purchase.
Hmm. Yeah, you're probably right, actually. That's
Mhm.
weird. Maybe they're not flared enough? I don't know.
It seems that way to me.
Yeah. Well, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I'd love to hear any thoughts that you have. Um, Chaz saying, "Mr. Good Spring Bar Show."
Yeah.
Dib, it's good to see you. I'm not gonna highlight that comment. Uh,
Uh,
Sean says, apparently spring bars in Smurf are white gold. Wow, that
hmm.
would be yeah, that would be bad if you kept those spring bars. I bet someone's done that. Um, you hear of people keeping watch bracelet links, right? That are white gold or titanium, or that cost quite a bit. And used watch salesmen, they kind of harvest a couple of links here and there, and sell you the watch because most people don't need all the links, right? I've heard a few people talk about that. Hey, Reinhard, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Riveting, says Div.
Yeah. Fascinating spring
Yeah,
bar talk.
yeah, definitely. Clayton, you have another one you'd like to add about?
Well, this one is something that it's kind of a running joke, but sometimes we'll do it. Packing peanuts.
Oh, okay.
When you're shipping somebody, the most annoying thing ever, is to get a bunch of packing peanuts. So there's been a few vindictive, wash sales that I can think of where, just send somebody a whole bunch of packing peanuts. I can think of a few people who have done that. So yeah, that's a good one. If the sale goes, wrong, or yeah, I'm thinking in a world where I'm mad at whoever I'm selling the watch to for whatever reason. I just want to get them one last time. Yeah, send them a bunch of just send them packing peanuts with no watch in it even, just that maybe you
Oh,
have their address, right? So just maybe in a couple weeks, just send them a whole bunch of packing peanuts.
spend time digging through it. What's in your
I sold a lot of watches on Facebook where it's frustrating, so yeah.
Yeah, I could, yeah, I could see that being frustrating. I was thinking of, Bobby Leggs's recent, interaction with someone on eBay where they didn't pay right away and something like that. I could see Mr. Leggs doing
Oh,
something.
that's the worst because you think you've sold the watch. That's happened to me
Yeah.
a few times too, and then they don't pay and they drop off the face of the earth. You message them and then they don't write back, and then I think,
Yeah.
you have to I don't know how it works if you have to relist it, but that might ding your review. People ask you why it got relisted and all that stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I'm not sure what exactly happened here, whether, the guy ended up paying, but I think he was, asking Rob to just hold off, not to cancel it, but, he was waiting for something else to sell, and yeah, it was pretty frustrating. Wouldn't be the greatest of situations. Um, Packing peanuts, that's a good one. Wayman says, he would think that white gold would be way too soft for spring bars. Yeah, I could see that too, but, like, when I had the 925 Black Bay 58, I was really concerned about those steel spring bars. Like, it honestly
Mm,
felt like they were wearing the holes bigger, the spring bar
I
holes.
thought that too. I
Yeah.
think that's true. I actually changed straps on that a lot, and,
Yeah, yeah.
the holes were I was like, "Oh gosh, if I keep doing this, I might break the hole into the bottom of the lug and not be able to put a strap on it at
Right,
all."
right. You'll have to get, it'll be like one of those, guys with spacers on their ears.
Right.
Just get wider and wider.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ripped an
no.
earring out, now you can't put an earring in.
Oh, not pretty pretty picture. Um, yeah. Well, pros and cons to both, I think. Um, Chad says he ignores lowball offers. Not sure if that's petty. No, that's not petty. I mean, yeah, if someone lowballs you, you're just kind of wasting time responding to them, right?
Or I have a friend who, if he sees a watch that's really high priced on eBay, he'll just offer $100 and keep sending them lowball offers on purpose because the
Oh yeah.
price like, if they're scalping or something.
Right, right.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, I have my buddy Jerry will do that sometimes,
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah. He's the hero we need protecting
Yep.
us. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, vigilante justice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, apparently, okay. So gold spring bars do exist. Says Wayben.
Hmm.
Cowboy Swami says you have to put in preference pay now. Um, yeah, prefer pay now. That makes sense.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. White gold spring bars and white gold case steel too hard belongs to hold. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It kind of. I mean, you could tell Tudor's already cutting corners when they put that hideous display on show, like the case back the movement on show, when instead of making it 925 silver. So I doubt they'd go the extra mile to like fabricate
Right.
925 silver spring bars.
Isn't it funny? The only 2 watches they did that on are the gold and silver, so they could
Yeah.
charge a lot and use less materials.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is interesting. You think they'd keep the trend going by doing it for the Black Bay 54, but no.
They could have
The
done it on the bronze, but they went with a bronze or a plated stainless steel case back instead.
Yeah, or I'm sure there are brass spring bars, right? Maybe the brass is a bit softer than steel, maybe not as soft as silver, but could mitigate a bit of the wear and tear.
Mhm.
So brass spring bars could have been a good compromise. Hmm, oh, we're still talking about spring bars.
Yeah. Much to Dib's chagrin.
Yeah, they're not rivets though, so,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, riveting. No.
yeah. Chad says I ignored then block. That part may be petty. Yeah,
Yeah,
block, I think is petty. I do that too though, so
yeah.
I'm with you there. Um, okay, look at that. Dan does it too. Dan is also a hero that we bring up
Yeah.
but don't deserve.
Good job, Dan.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Your service is appreciated.
I'm wondering if Dan got this, because I know he's a G-Shock guy. Did you get the new, fitness smartwatch, the DWH 5600?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, Dan, if you did. Um, Joey is here. Hey, Joey. Once bought an Islander. Get the spring bars. I did
Uh.
not see that coming. Oh, no. is so good. Oh, that is the comment of the day, Julia. That is great. Hey Carl, good to see you. I like the Grand Seiko 9F in the picture. It's beautiful. I think so too. I at first I was a bit apprehensive about the redesign of the 9F GMTs. So with the SPGN 027, 029. Um, but I've really come to like that new, like they're kind of unifying the designs, right? On their sports watches. Like you got the GMTs, the sports GMTs, the 40 mil sports GMTs have a similar case. Really waiting for them to do that with a diver. That'd be cool to see. But yeah, I think they're unifying the design language at least. So dancing, it looks big. I would
Figure
say there's a lens distortion there. Um, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Rolex gold spring bar is about $350 each. Yeah,
Oof.
no doubt.
I'm
Yikes.
wondering if the Moser uses it's a white gold case. I wonder if they use white gold spring bars.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be
Interesting. I have to
interesting.
do some digging on that. I have not changed the strap yet.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder. That'll be good to know.
Yeah.
All right, so another petty-ish or thing that I'm tempted to do to a watch before trading it in or selling it on. Um, okay, this thing I have done once is if I have a similar, if I have the same watch in like a similar configuration, I've swapped the straps out. So there is, I used to have an enamel dialed Presage, or two enamel dialed Presages at the same time, and I like the pattern of the crocodile on one of the other straps more than the other. So I swapped the straps out. I don't think that's very egregious, is it? What do you think? One had, you know how Tommaso says large rectangular scale alligator?
Yes.
And apparently that's more desirable, but I like it when it goes from like really small scales, like it's going down the side of the belly or something of the alligator, where it gets small and then it gets large. I really like the change in size rather than having a uniform size of the alligator. So I took out the one that had the preferred pattern of alligator, crocodile, alligator, whichever, and I swapped it with the other one before I traded it in. And the deployant. I preferred the deployant on the other one too. But for all intents and purposes, they were very similar. So it's not like a change in quality, but you know,
And nobody was the wiser.
nobody was the wiser. But the spring bars were the same though. Like they got their original spring bar. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that's a little morally questionable, egregious?
Uh, I mean, no one knows but you and us now, so, it's fine.
Anyway,
No, I could see myself doing
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not like you're giving them something of equal quality, it's maybe just something you like better, so
yeah,
subjective.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they have like a leather strap serial number. I know there's a couple of numbers in the back of Seiko straps, but yeah, I don't think so. They're just straps. Bracelet probably would have been a bit more egregious thing to do.
Now you do a lot of trading, in person to your authorized dealer. Have you ever, like, not mentioned scratches, or do they really examine the watches they get from you, or do they just take your word for it? Have you, like, purposely left out that a watch may have a few scratches or dings or something?
No, not really. I haven't left it out, but oftentimes they don't even ask. Like
Okay.
they know for the most part I take good care of my watches. They'll have the odd scratch or two. They kind of know what to expect from a watch that I have. So if there's like a really bad scratch on it, or it's got something, like if it's really worn down, I'll mention it then. But for the most part, they don't even look at the watch. Like they don't even check to see if the watch is there. I just hand them a bag. um, they know I'm good for it, and they know where I live. So
You just give them a fake box, the real watch is in your trunk, and you just make off like a bandit.
Yeah. Well, one time actually, I did leave because I forgot to go back to the car and get the watch that I was trading in, and I took the new watch, and I paid something like $100 or something, and I left, and I was like, "Oh no, I didn't give him the watch." So I drove back and gave him the watch, and that's when they said, "Yeah, see, this is how much we trust you." So, so
And
I and I
they took their revenge by giving you the wrong size Planet Ocean.
right, yeah. I don't know, joke's on them because they had to
Yeah.
had to take a hit on.
Yeah, sell it as a used watch now.
Yeah. No, I felt so bad about that. They really should have charged me, like, a restocking fee for that, but they didn't. They're good guys. But Bundy Air Jewelers in Toronto, guys, best yeah, best customer service. Um, let's see what you guys are saying here. Stanley saying Moser uses steel spring bars. Yeah. Don't change the strap on that a lot.
Yeah. 'Cause white gold is, I've noticed it's taken on some nothing major like I've said, but some swirls for sure. So, yeah, white gold is definitely softer.
Yeah, and white gold generally is rhodium plated as well, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that might wear off in a few years.
Yeah,
Might not. Not sure what the wear life is. I'm sure with the like every service, it probably gets replated or
I'm
something.
sure. Those
Yeah,
are gonna be some pricey services.
yeah. Carl mentioning the blue is so dark that it sometimes looks black. Yeah, it almost always looks black on that 029, and and the Grand Seiko logo on that is really special. I don't know if you get a chance to see it, but it's it's brushed in a different way to the other elements of the watch that it almost looks white. So it's silver. Like don't mistake it for actually being like painted white or something, but it's silver, but it's been brushed in a certain way that it reflects light and makes it look just pure white. Like so good on that blue dial. Um, so yeah. Um, oh, okay. Let's see. Camera adds 25 pounds, says Chaz. Several millimeters. Yep. Yeah, sure does. Hey, Govinder, good to see you. Think you're buying VC overseas. Very cool. Yeah, we'd recommend it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Joey singing naughty boy. Yeah. After seeing this, AD will be checking the spring bars. Yeah, I, I, I wouldn't do that, but that's the temptation is there. Clayton, any further thoughts?
I think I've, maybe on purpose or just being devious, I've, maybe not sent certain accoutrement I've gotten with watches. Like if I get a spring, sometimes you get a screwdriver
Mm,
or spring bar tool or sizing tool or something. I have kept those because they don't know that came with the watch, right?
yeah,
So like if a watch came with a screwdriver that I really like, they probably didn't know it came with that, so I'm just gonna ship it without it and keep that. So I've certainly done that.
yeah. I've had that temptation too, especially with like the Oris. We were talking about this morning actually. The Oris New York Harbor limited edition. It comes with like a really nice Oris Alquist screwdriver for like a tri-wing screwdriver. Weirdly though, one of my complaints was that screwdriver is too small for the screw inside
Mm.
the lug, which is bizarre oversight. But um, but yeah, I was really tempted to keep that for my for future Aquas that I might get. But yeah, you can't really get away with that. Nor did I want to, but because there's like a specific spot for the screwdriver, and if it's
Right.
not there, you know.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, there's certain like the Santos I moved on from it, that comes with a tool. Yeah, I have no other use for that, so that's obviously going to go in. Or yeah, I had an Aquas and I had a tool to remove the bracelet, and I didn't plan on buying another Aqua, so that went in. But I
yeah,
rationalize it. I will give a lot of straps with watches. Like if I sell a watch and I bought some straps for it, I'll generally throw them in as part of the deal. So
Yeah, that poor beaver tail.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, went.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have got it with the deployant. Darn.
Right. Yeah.
I would have kept it otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
next time.
Yeah, yeah. The guy got a screaming deal.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I need a
Um,
new AC unit, so it had to go.
yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. But, I kept, like, the cleaning cloths that you get with Grand Seiko.
Mhm.
I know, I know I was told to keep one once because they said they had, like, a bunch and the guy took it out of the box and gave it to me. I don't have it here on me, but it's like this oven mitt-like thing.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
probably seen it,
Yep,
right? Like, it's
yep.
blue and you stick your hand in,
Mhm.
and then you can clean your watch. It's horrible quality stuff. I wouldn't actually clean a watch with that. Like, it's that cloth is primed to catch, like, sand particles and then leave nice scratches on your Xerox finished surfaces, so I wouldn't use it, but, yeah, I have one of those. So, I know where you're coming from there. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like, oh, like, Zenith El Primero had a USB, like a glowing USB. I think the manual was in it or something. I'm not quite
Uh,
sure, but, this was a previous gen El Primero, and, oh, I really wanted to keep it. It looked like a jewel. So nice, but yeah, that too had a spot on the box, so
yeah, that's tricky when they have their own slot and it's missing, you have to explain it then. "Well, it wasn't there when
Wait.
I bought it, I don't know."
Yeah. Um Let's see, Moser, Stanley with some, trivia here. Moser designed their escapements to be completely replaced with each service.
Hmm,
Yeah, I've heard of that. I think, I don't I think they don't even need to do the service. Like, you can just pull out the escapement. I'm not sure, but
wow.
yeah, and drop in a new one, and you're good to go. Like, that's a quick service. But yeah,
I don't
very,
know how
very
quick
cool
it'll be.
engineering.
I imagine if I keep that watch long enough to where it has to be serviced, that will be I will be without that watch for quite a while, I would think. I don't
Yeah,
know, that's the impression I get, and it
yeah,
will
yeah,
cost, a hefty sum.
yeah, I bet. But, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Now, would you get it polished? Because it could definitely use one. It could already use one, let alone if I keep wearing it for years. That's a tricky one. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. I Oh, that's hard. Is it all polished? Like, is there any brush surfaces in that at all?
Ju very little on the, like, dimples on the side of the
Okay.
case, but that's about it. Mostly
Yeah.
polished otherwise. I mean, it looks great unless you really, like, shine a light on it and you can see that but if you're just, like, looking at it, it looks shiny and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I I mean, I guess it's white gold and it's a losing battle, right?
right. You're just
Um,
gonna if you wear it at all, if you breathe on it, it
yeah,
scratches.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that rhodium plating, I wouldn't, polywatch it or what's the Cape Cod. Cape
Cape
Cod.
Cod. Oh,
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
Cape
dare.
Cod.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
Doing
So,
anything to that myself.
yeah, yeah. If that's like a long term, like, you'd wear that into your 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, eventually that plating will wear off, and then at that point, you might as well polish it. So maybe on like the 3rd or 4th service? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're ta 2 guys who don't keep
what
watches longer than a year.
Yeah. This is what we would like to be.
Yeah, right.
Want to keep watches forever. Um, any new thoughts? Oh, you just gave one, didn't you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Keeping the swag. Let's see. I don't
Well,
know.
if I'm being like if we wanna go full evil and you wanna, like, just mess with people, you could undo the screws a little bit so they wear it and the
Oh,
watch falls off. You could
yeah,
really be now we're just being complete jerks, but
yeah,
if we
no,
wanna go there.
I actually I had the temptation to do that. So, um, I learned early on that if you don't use the right punch, like the pin punch block thing,
Mhm.
if you use a bigger hammer, you stretch out the collar so that even though you put the bar back in, it's not gonna the collar's not gonna grip the bar anymore. So with a certain amount of vibration, the pin will just fall out, and the collar, it's and the watch is just gonna fall off the wrist.
Right.
Um, when I learned that, and I figured out, because at one point when I was really new, and resizing my own bracelets, I couldn't figure out why the pin wouldn't stay in anymore. So I was using a punch that was too big, and I was stretching out the collar. So I realized, okay, I gotta squeeze that collar back down to its normal size, put it back in the bracelet, and put the pin through, and it worked perfectly after that. I was selling a Citizen some time ago, um, probably like 4 or 5 years ago now. My first one of my first watches. It was a ProMaster diver, and the guy was a bit of a jerk, and I thought I could do something. So the temptation was there. I never did it. Temptation was there to use a punch, like a bigger punch, and stretch out that collar a little bit. And a few weeks down the line, so it may face an accident. But yeah, that is full blown evil.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's, yeah, even with, like, yeah, just a screw, just undoing it enough where, yeah, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in a few weeks when he's walking down the sidewalk, that puppy's gonna drop and scratch, and you'll
oh,
just be laughing.
see, the thing is, you can't do that, especially if you're a watch enthusiast, because you care about the watch
Right.
more than how badly that guy treated you, right? Like, oh, the watch. Um, so
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, if anyone, I know a lot of people say I'm a really nice guy, but if you could only see inside my head, guys, I am not nice.
it's a
I
dark and twisted place.
Yeah, I had to really, like, that's why, like, I mentioned, difficulties at work, at the beginning. That's why I kind of spend time to, when I'm upset at someone else, I try to sit down and think about how I do the same thing, right? And that way I don't feel less upset at that person. Because petty, like, if someone's being petty towards me and doing stuff to make my life a little miserable, then I think about, hey, how have you done this in the past? You're like this too. So that
Yeah.
helps me, give a bit of benefit of the doubt, you know, give something back in a sense. So yeah, if you could stick an HDMI cord in here and look inside, it's not pretty.
Well, yeah, well, I think everybody has those thoughts, we have a filter though, and we're able to like think about it and calm down. And it's the people that don't that end up murdering and doing all the bad things. But we can like have those thoughts and be like, okay, we can rationalize them and say that no, I'm not going to do that. I want to do that. I want to say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna oversize that collar and make that watch fall on the pavement. Yeah,
Uh,
that's hard.
but
Yeah.
that is a nice thought sometimes to do that to someone.
Yes. Yeah.
No one's gonna buy a watch from either of us ever again.
Yeah. My AD is gonna be on full alert.
Right.
Chaz here. Nice pivot from spring bars to microfiber. This is vintage.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. There you go.
We talk about pens, and it's the full trifecta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call a watch a pen.
Right. There you go. Uh, I haven't done that since.
Or a pen a watch.
Yep.
Uh,
Um, Reinhardt says my reverso stainless steel is soft. Oh, I wonder what grade or what kind of stainless steel it is. I mean, stainless steel in general is pretty soft, right? Most scale of hardness is probably like 4, I think. I think 4. Um, yeah. Amiratsu polishing. Not sure what that is. Let's get to 1 year first before all this sort of stuff.
right.
Yeah. Uh, tell us about it. Baby steps. Bruno, quick question for Sanjay and Clayton and the chat. Is there a watch you bought, not given, that you'll keep for life?
Well,
Oh,
the first one I ever bought was a Shinola, and I'll always keep that. We talked about that today. No one would buy it. A and B, it's like it's sentimental and it's named after Lake Superior. But
mm,
I would love to keep the Moser forever.
yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah. We know ourselves too well.
Right. But
Um,
yeah, I don't know. The Shinola, but yeah, I mean like real. like a really nice watch, I'd love to keep the Moser.
Yeah. I think I have a loophole answer to this. So,
Oh, here we go.
um, the SRP 843, SRP 843, I think that's the right, reference number. It was, a watch I bought for my wife for our 4th anniversary. Um, the Fuyeshiki, it is a winter scene presage cocktail time, 34 mil. I bought it, I gave it to my wife. She kind of mistreated it. It's in poor, like, the crystal's in poor shape. The mechanically, it's impeccable. But, and she doesn't really wear it too much, so she gave it back to me. So I don't think I'd ever sell that one. Um, it's kinda worthless, but also because it has that, sentimental value, and in a backwards way, it was kinda given back to me, but I did purchase it, so I think that counts. What do you think, Bruno? Does that count? So
My
I
wife
think I
is rough on her watches too.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how that like, this has Hardlex crystal, right? And it's got deep gouges, like, just craters on the crystal. I have no idea what happened to it. Um, our theory is that it might have got banged into the side of a counter while she was doing dishes or something, because our sink has no bevels.
Mm.
Our counters have bevels everywhere else except at the sink. There it has, like, a sharp lip. Not sure why they didn't bevel those, but they didn't. Um, let's see. Chaz, a good throat punch works for me. Um, not, I'm missing the context here a little bit, but that's a good
Maybe go
throat
the
punch.
punch with the, bracelet.
Oh, yeah, right. Um, Pale horse is good and bad is in us all. What you
Right.
choose that makes you, yeah. Um, yeah, maybe Blue Monsters are never by Watch from Sanjay or Clayton. Yeah. Uh, no, just don't upset and lowball them. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you've been warned.
Make
Uh,
us a good offer, and, all those screws will be nice and tight.
yeah,
And you won't get packing peanuts.
right. Or a cake in the mail or something.
Right? Oh god. Oh, I forgot
Uh,
about that.
yeah. Amiratsu polishing his almond with a Cape Cod. Okay, yeah, I get it, yeah. That was Colin's thing, right? Colin also mentioned, Zaratsu is just Cape Cod. Colin's such a troll. Cowboy Kichi Walter is saying, "Yes, I have a number of watches I bought and will keep for life, or at least, that is the intention." Yeah, yeah. I can't say there's much more than my 34 mil Presage. Uh, Joey, I'm
Yeah.
getting real tired of these stuck up and condescending, like, looking at you like superior.
I know the nerve.
Yeah. I don't know there are 5 lakes, right?
Yes.
There's Lake Ontario? Ontario, I
Yep,
wanna say?
Lake, Michigan, Lake Superior, Ontario,
Huron?
Erie, and Huron. Yep.
Huron, okay, okay. I know some of them. I was
I know
and
poor Lake Erie, that's not a very, nice thing
yeah,
to be called.
yeah. Uh, poor Lake Erie. Um, do we have time for one more?
I
Um,
have to think of one more.
yeah, let's see. What do I do that's questionable, morally questionable? I'm petty.
Can we talk about
Uh,
things besides watches? I have a number
yeah.
of those I can mention.
Yeah. I don't know, I think that's about it.
No, I always try to throw in a bunch of straps or something, like whatever I bought. Like when I sold the No Time to Die, I included a few extra straps that I
Yeah.
bought just for that watch, and because I don't have I don't have a huge collection, and those straps really won't work for. So like when I sold the SP or the SLA 043, like I sold it to a friend, so I threw in like the Artem I had bought for it. I
Mm,
try to do that, so stealing
yeah.
some, microfiber cloths and screwdrivers, I can rationalize it that way.
Yeah, I think I would do that if I sold to private parties as well, but
Yeah.
because I trade in, I just trade in what I got with the watch itself, do the purchases. Oh, one thing, because my AD always gives me, like, the whole shebang, right? Like, he gives me the coffin that the watch comes from with,
Mhm.
all, like, the plastics and the weird stuff. So, like, the whole 9 yards. And one thing I'm tempted to do is to keep, like, the coffin just to remember the watch by or something, but I do take that back, but 'cause I know there are other crazy enthusiasts that want all that those knickknacks, right? The receipts and, um, yeah, so I try to even put my original purchase receipt because some people like that stuff. Um, but the temptation is there, because I got the serial number, I can reminisce about the watch by looking at its coffin, because it's resting in peace now. Yeah, that's another little one.
Oh, I know one thing I did. I bought a watch from DC Vintage, Raketa Big Zero, and they actually, like, give a nice, like, hard shell case. It's not original packaging or anything, but that's how they ship the watch because a lot of those are vintage watches that don't have, original box and papers. They're old.
Mm,
So when I sold that watch, I kept that, hard shell case because that was really nice, and I
yeah.
just shipped it in, another box. Yeah.
Right.
But that was a nice box, so I kept that. I still have
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, I don't know if that's morally
I don't think
objectionable.
so. I
I
didn't
don't
think
think
so.
so. It's just a case. It's not the
I've
yeah,
moved
not
on.
like it's yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Conscience is gone. No, no, I'm just
Uh,
joking.
if my
Let's
mom
see.
watches this, she'll be mad. She bought it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Watching New York City says, "My wife scratched the heck out of my Explorer 1." Aw, the one time I lent her a luxury watch. Oh, no. Yeah, sorry to hear that.
I think, I've encountered non-watch people and their watches are really beat up, and I think and there's almost like a freedom to it. They don't dwell on it or they're not
Mm,
hyper focused on it because they don't plan on selling it.
right.
So, like, I've talked about my client who has the Kermit, my neighbor who has the SMP, he has beat that thing to heck and back, and uh, he enjoys it, so he doesn't think about it. And yeah, I think my wife wears her watches that way. She has a lot of Citizens and Timex, and she just wears them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I so my wife now mostly wears a vintage Casio, um, not an F91W, but it's like from the vintage collection. It's rose gold plated or not plated, but toned.
Hmm.
And she really loves that watch. And the way she treats that thing, oh man. I'm surprised there's any ion plating or whatever. It's I cannot believe there's stuff left on it still. It's so well made. So endorsement of the vintage collection of the Casio watches. Those things are yeah. I'd actually be okay with owning like a blacked out version of that. So I might consider that because she'll take the watch and just throw it on the counter. Let's just take it off and throw it. Just like,
A little
oh,
bit of
and it
you
just
dies each time.
sliding down the counter. And I'm like, no, that's harder than the metal. Is by definition putting scratches on the watch. Um, but yeah, yeah. So it's just something about non-watch people. Um, Bruno, not including the thickness of the watch in your description. Like when you're selling it,
Or
or
maybe
like when
not
you're looking
telling
at it.
them that a watch I've never done this, I'm usually pretty honest about it, but, like, if a watch is running fast or slow and not telling them because
Yeah.
you feel like that might affect the
Oh
because
yeah, yeah,
what are the chances that they're going to, I always watches run religiously fast or slow, I'll usually say just heads up.
yeah,
But like, yeah, if you sold a watch that wasn't like if you were to sell that, uh, wearing, if you were privately and you didn't disclose that it was plus 15 or whatever it is. So yeah, it
yeah,
could be seen as a little dishonest.
yeah, yeah. I could see that. Um, the other thing, like with the Seiko Diver. if the bezel is aligned or the chaptering is aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get some people who are in the know and ask, "Hey, is the chaptering
Does it
aligned?"
line up?
Uh, yeah.
Yep,
Like
that's a morality, issue every time you sell a Seiko. They
yeah,
never do.
yeah. The bezels never lined up. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, it's getting better, I think.
You know it's real.
Yep. Okay, so, oh, Floyd Morrison has a comment here. Sold a knife to a guy, was such a pain about the price, etc. That when I finally shipped it to him, I sent it to his neighbor down the street. Oh, oh no, that's
That is pretty awesome.
yeah, yeah. I hope he got it. Yeah, that's a good one. Um, okay, so guys, we made it. We made it to 10 o'clock. So thank you all for joining us. I know it's a bit of a low energy one. We've both had really rough weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll call off Watch Soup for tomorrow. And do you have anything you'd like to plug in, Clayton?
Nope, just, yeah, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Sanjay and I, we had fun. So
Yeah,
we had a little more energy than we did tonight, I think, but
we definitely did. We're
coffee
both on
fueled.
yeah, both on coffee.
Yeah.
Recording at 7 a.m. Um, I have a upcoming review for the BLRO GMT Master 2 Pepsi. So I have borrowed it from Marcus. That'll be coming out in the upcoming week, hopefully. Other than that, that's about it. So,
Can you
guys,
give a teaser of your impression? I'm dying to know, like, which
uh,
way you're leaning.
oh, I mean, I love it, but I've never liked the Pepsi itself. I mean, I like the all black one.
Mhm,
Um, I don't like the Batman. Black and blue I don't like together too often. There's some exceptions, like, Chaz's dark blue, SNR with the
mhm.
black. I think that works really well, but the I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the shade, but, um so the only ones I really like I would really like a Coke. I know a lot of people want that, like the black and red. Oh, that would be nice to see again. And, what's yeah, the all black one, Sprites, meh for me. Um, yeah. So the color I really like, or I don't love. Red and blue is good, but it's kind of more of purple. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm,
But mechanically, it's just insane. Like I was mentioning when I was trying the Explorer 2, like the GMT hand, like it feels like you're getting a thud every time you're not the GMT hand, but you're jumping the hour hand. It feels excellent. Everything about that watch is just so high quality. Like yeah, you can't even compare it to its peers. Like, yeah, well, it's just refined. Like it's a well-refined watch, and you
yep,
can't really compare it to Omega. You'd be doing yourself a disservice by comparing it to Omega as well, because Omega's price point's way under. Um, but yeah, that you can tell where your money is going if you buy it at retail.
yeah.
If you don't, that's a whole other story. I cannot understand why someone would be willing to spend that much money on this watch. Like, was it 26 grand now or 27 grand on the used market? I'm not quite sure, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
think if you think about the long game and how much money you'd have to spend to get a Pepsi from your authorized dealer, then
yeah,
if you can rationalize it and say, "Well, I'm probably gonna have to spend more than that." Now, I wouldn't do it in a million years, but I can understand why somebody might that doesn't wanna
yeah,
play the game and just says, "I'm gonna have to drop this much to get it on watches I don't necessarily want anyway, so I might as well just drop it on a watch I do want."
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
If money is no object to someone, then yeah, it makes sense, right? Or if
right.
they love the watch so much that they find that value. I mean, it might hurt, but if they really want that watch, then yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. I could see myself paying over retail for a watch that I truly love. Um, this ain't it. I'm just not a Rolex guy in general. But I do love the watch. I do like the watch. It's a really it's it's worth the money in terms of retail price, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see where the money's going. Rolex has done a pretty good job.
They're gonna be all right, that brand.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're a good guys.
Oh
Han
god.
this Hans guy this Hans guy
Yeah.
knows what he's doing.
Uh,
Yeah. But guys, thanks so much for joining us and spending some time with us. We do really appreciate you, and
Absolutely.
and remember, you are infinitely valuable. And it's true, you are. You're worth it. You're precious. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Good night,
Bye.
guys. Thank you.